So what you just saw there were some clips from a gig I did last week with my band Flood, and we had a great time. We felt like we played pretty good, and the audience, which was fairly big for that size room, was really appreciative. What's the word? Yeah, they seem to like it anyways. But the fun thing for me at this gig, one of the fun things at least, was I finally got to, I got to try out this ZT Lunchbox Reverb amp at a gig. I had just used it in rehearsals before that, but I finally got to gig with it, and I gotta say, it delivered big time. I was really happy with the sound quality. It was exactly what I needed for that gig, and that was using a guitar, one pedal basically, and the amp. That's pretty much it. I'm gonna show you my settings here from the gig. So as you can see, gain on max, bass slightly below noon, treble slightly above noon, volume at about 11 o'clock, and reverb halfway up. As you can see in the video, I did have a mic on the amp. That was mostly, however, for getting some sound back to the drummer for his wedge monitor, because I ended up having the amp in front of his drum kit basically, so he couldn't really hear much from the guitar sound without some sound in his monitor as well. But what you're hearing in the video, I'm guessing is probably about 90% straight from the amp and maybe 10% from the PA, because we had just a little bit of it going through the PA speaker as well, mostly to get some spread into the to the room, because PA speakers were kind of angled outwards. The place we're playing consists of a few rooms actually, where the audience sits, so they have some speakers pointed in different angles basically. But anyways, the amp was loud enough. As you can see, the volume wasn't even halfway up, and it was loud enough for that gig. You need to have some headroom left on the amp for a gig, I think, unless you're sure the PA system will deliver, which it may or may not do. Yeah, you can't really be sure of it unless it's a venue you play often, because you don't want to have your volume all the way up at sound check, and then the audience comes in for the gig, which soaks up a lot of sound, and the drummer wakes up halfway through the set and plays harder than usually. That way you end up just disappearing in the mix. So thank God that didn't happen. As I said, the amp delivered big time. As for the rest of the rig, I was playing my guitar here, this old Teisco Del Rey EP8T guitar, which has been obviously modded almost beyond recognition. It's one of my favorite guitars though, for the type of music we play in Flood. This guitar works awesome because it has the trem bar, and even though it's Hamburg, it has a little bit of a twang. So that was a great guitar for that, and also you can get some feedback out of it, which is nice because it's completely hollow. As for the pedals I was using, I had 3 pedals in front of me on the floor. One was a tuner, which is good to have. I ended up being a little bit out of tune on one song though, still, but anyways. Another pedal was the full tone Octafuzz, which I didn't end up using. I had kind of been toying with the idea of using it to kind of simulate a sax sound, because we play the Donovan song Get Thy Bearings, and that's the saxophone lead on that song. So I was kind of, yeah, if I felt like it, I could have used the Octafuzz to get, I mean, it doesn't sound like a saxophone obviously, but something different. But the pedal that I did end up use a little bit was my, you know, build your own clone kind of thing. It's a copy of Color Sound Overdriver or Power Booster. It's just pretty much the same pedal but 2 different names. And the knobs are not marked here, but that's the gain. That was all the way off. This is the volume. That was all the way up. Bass just a little bit below noon. Treble just a little bit above noon. And these are the settings I use for, as well as for the amp. By the way, they're pretty much the same EQ settings. That's a good setting for the humbuckers in a hollow body instrument, as the Teisco Del Rey there. That was the rig for the gig. And I think I'm gonna insert some more live clips here, but hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you have any questions about this rig, and otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.